we're talking about something different. Over the last 3 days, we sat here and talked about the same exact thing. I got a message yesterday from one of our friends saying, you guys are becoming like the news. You talk about the same thing every day.
Okay, the difference between us and the news is that we're not talking about politics. So you can thank us for that one.
That's right. And we're going to work our way through this video, just like Heather's going to work her way through dinner because she just let me know she's hangry.
I am hangry, so let's go.
Ride the wave!
No!
Now let's talk about something entirely different.
Okay.
We're getting into a different world tonight, Heather.
Different as in different from what we normally talk about, or different from the last 3 days?
So we're pulling out of Funko, and we're sticking ourselves right into Hot Toys.
Can you not do things
What?
like this? Cause
No.
it's weird.
It's not weird. It's fine. Don't judge me. So I just want to remind you, we're pulling out of Funko, and we're moving over to Hot Toys. And so tonight, we're talking about something that fans of Hot Toys go crazy over.
And what is that, Chris?
Can you make 2 guesses? Go ahead.
Real hair.
No. I mean,
Crazy good or crazy bad?
something that they go crazy about, like, it must be perfect.
Face sculpt.
Yes, we're talking about face sculpts. And Heather didn't guess that because she saw what my Google tab looked like.
No, I have no idea what your Google tab is.
Look at me dead in my eyes, and you let me know you don't know what's on there.
I'm gonna laugh
exactly
because it's hilarious.
because she's making it up. She's acting like she didn't know.
I really didn't see your Google. Like, what's on the
Sure,
screen right now
Heather.
is me and you.
No, sure, it's fine. Okay, so here's what I've done. I pulled Headsculpts.
Oh.
This one as an example of Moon Knight that is incredibly good, and people are really big fans of.
Wow. That doesn't even look like a toy. That looks like a still from the show.
It does, but now hold on. Let's talk about this for a second. So with this head sculpt as an example, there's a lighting situation going on here. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that factors in to make the head sculpt look really great. Sometimes it doesn't look as good out of the box, but if you're taking some cool photos, it'll really pop and it'll look like a real person. I know this because it happens all the time when I'm taking photos of my Hot Toys. But Hot Toys fans are very fickle when it comes to stuff like this, and it could be a very minor thing, and people go nuts. So nuts that they comment on Hot Toys posts, and they show them photos of what the actor looks like, or they'll show a photo of the head sculpt, and then they show you how they're changing it to make it look better, to let Hot Toys know that this should look better. And you want to know what's really crazy about that?
The entitlement?
No, Hot Toys, some of the time, will actually fix these problems.
Oh,
Not only that, but Hot Toys, if you post a character that you want Hot Toys to make, Hot Toys sometimes will make the figure or the character. What?
I'm thinking about what happens in a scenario where a figure looks good like that, and somebody who uses like Microsoft Paint in a really bad way edits the actor's face or the Hot Toys face in like a really shitty way. What if Hot Toys actually did that?
That would be hilarious. But
and made it the opposite of good.
That would never happen.
But that would be hilarious.
But,
they should do... What if they did that?
I mean...
that would be funny.
I'm going to show you an example.
Hot Toys, listen.
I'm going to show you an example.
I can help your company.
I'm going to show you
Not that you need help. I think that's a great idea.
I'm going to show you an example of something that somebody may have done that.
Okay, show me.
I'm going to show you. No, we're going to get there.
No,
so
I want to see it now.
The reason why we're talking about this is a photo or a figure that was announced yesterday. And I was tagged in it a couple times today. But let's go through these. Okay. I'm showing you absolute masterpiece head sculpts. Another one. So this is an artisan one where it has the real hair. Mm-hmm. And the other one that we just looked at, artisan, real hair. That's becoming a thing with Hot Toys because there was another company that is doing artisan figures. And I think Hot Toys is basically like, we got to do this too, and we want to do it better. The other company is called In Art. And In Art, figures are usually a bit more expensive. Okay. They're higher end. And there are a lot of people who say that In Art does it way better.
Okay.
But I look at these things side by side comparison, and I don't always necessarily agree with that. And there are some people that are so nitpicky in this stuff. You look at these two photos and you just don't even understand how they're seeing a difference between the two. Like in terms of likeness, not the exact like figure that in art and Hot Toys is doing, but the likeness of the character or the person. So those two figures look fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So here is another one that looks really great that we recently talked about, which is Nice Pool. As you can see, he has separate rolling eyeballs, which freaks me out.
That's weird.
It is very strange. This is the one that was posted the other day. And this is Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason why this is so important in terms of like, I guess important to me, is that I'm actually in agreement with the people that are pointing out that there's something wrong with this head sculpt.
If I didn't see that it said Human Torch and I couldn't recognize who Human Torch was, I would not know that that's Chris Evans.
So it's very strange that they went completely off the rails and gave us a head sculpt like this. Now, here's the reason why we're making this video. I am adding on to all the comments where people are saying that the head sculpts must change in hopes that Hot Toys will actually change this. Now, the hair looks okay. That is pictured in some of these photos, and it looks really great.
Okay.
But this head sculpt looks absolutely horrible.
It's weird.
It is very strange. So the reason why it's so strange is that they've made Chris Evans figures before, Chris Evans. And I actually have a couple of the Chris Evans figures.
Yes, you do, and they look great.
They do look really great. And I was going to show one to the camera in person because I think that it would be valuable if I can find it because I have so many Hot Toys. Where?
Behind Winter Soldier.
So this is Chris Evans' stealth suit from Hot Toys. And this is a figure that was from the Endgame film. They basically remade this figure. They had originally made it for the Winter Soldier film and then remade it for Endgame. And I was lucky enough because of our friend Alex, awesome Alex, hooked me up with this guy at cost, at retail. He's a really great guy.
He's amazing.
So, that looks great. You look at this, and then you look at that, and you wonder, how does this happen? Because if you and I look at this side by side, now the only thing that's weird about this one, but I believe he has big ears, but he looks like he has kind of big ears in this, doesn't he?
I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he has big ears. But if you turn the character like so, different lighting does different things. And it almost make him look like it looks like you're holding a person. It's really weird.
Tiny person, yes.
Right. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, because I have a feeling that people are going to find this video about Hot Toys and they're going to say, that head sculpt is not very good, and how could you talk so great about it? I think the head sculpt looks good, although I know that not everybody's going to agree. I just needed to say that.
So what I do want to say is, I feel like this looks more realistically like a person, but it does not look realistically like Chris Evans. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like there's like more lines in that, where this looks almost as if he has like a filter.
You grab my Hot Toys like you're going to break a leg.
What
was that about? You just grabbed like a drumstick.
Chris,
are you okay? You that hungry?
It. Yeah, I'm starving.
So again, it all comes down to light. Okay, so it comes down to lighting, Heather.
True.
So if you look at this and you put it under the lighting or used Photoshop to edit the photo, it could look like a real person.
I think what I'm looking at...
You did it again. What are you doing?
I think what I'm looking at most, honestly, is more so there's a bit more like wrinkles and realer features on his forehead. This one does have lines, like serious like eyebrow lines right here and like the smile lines. But I also think what adds to it is like the stubble. Like it just, for some reason, this looks almost like he's wearing too much makeup or a filter. If that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
But it looks more like Chris Evans than whatever that thing was.
Exactly. Whatever that thing, or that's prime words. Can you not hold him? The next picture is this. So this is kind of one of those things that you got to see to believe. This is the Ant-Man, obviously. Look at that last one with those teeth that look like a row of urinals.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Odd.
So this is Paul Rudd, one of our favorites.
I love Paul Rudd.
That head sculpt. Now you can see the 2016 head sculpt looks fantastic. Like I think that looks like Paul Rudd. We're about to look at the Quantumania picture as well, which people are hating on. But that one from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was Ant-Man 2, with the teeth, is so unbelievably bad. It's like, you ever watch a movie that's so bad it's good?
Yeah.
That's what that head sculpt is. That is a joke. You put that on the figure in your collectible room along with your other figures to make fun of it. Yeah. That's the only point, because that looks horrible. Yeah. There's something very wrong with that.
It's weird.
It looks like it belongs with a horror figure. It looks terrible. Okay? So here's another. Now, this is one that I wanted to point out. They're saying that his, like, jaw, I think, is too wide. They don't like the look of it. So people, like, judge this figure pretty hardcore as well. From? This is from Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier. So truthfully, he does have sort of a skinnier face in the film. So I understand where people are coming from with this. And this could change. It's a possibility it could change.
I see that.
But his face is kind of wide. But let me ask you this. Okay, so you see that. You can
a little bit, yeah.
You can see it based off of the photo. Let me see the photo you're looking at. Okay, yeah, perfect. So that is...
But it's not much.
That's the photo that a lot of people were using. That's what they're saying, okay? Now, would that picture... I'm sorry, that face here versus this head sculpt, would that deter you from buying this figure?
No, because I wouldn't notice it unless someone pointed it out.
Bingo. And also, it's another thing, in my opinion, I believe that it's the way that you look at it. Yes. Because you're capturing a portrait of a person.
Well, what I was wondering is it because it's in that turn?
I don't know. I mean, that could be it also.
What I just looked at is one of him, like, looking almost straight forward.
And then there's this. So this is the brand new Paul Rudd. That is a really weird look. There's something strange about it. I mean, you're looking at this.
So what I see, and this is just going off my memory of Paul Rudd, it looks-ish like Paul Rudd. The eye that is sort of turned away from the camera looks too big.
Yes.
And his ear looks too big.
Agreed. But yeah, his ear does look ginormous.
It's weird, but it doesn't not look like Paul Rudd, but it doesn't look like Paul Rudd.
Well, let's travel back in time here, Heather. So back in 2016, there's the original Paul Rudd. I think that 2016 head sculpt looks the most like Paul Rudd from all the three of these. What do you think?
Sort of. I mean, the 2016 one looks sort of weird to me, too.
You know, people say it looks like Ben Affleck, too.
That's exactly what it is. I was going to say it looks like somebody, but I don't know who it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Affleck. But I think it's the closest to Paul Rudd out of the three. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I guess this one's sort of close, but this one, to me, it just looks weird. It looks like this person is or this figure is wearing a mask that's supposed to be Paul Rudd.
Yes, it looks like one of those weird president masks.
Yes.
You know that you see at, like, the Halloween
stores?
It's
very creepy.
What I am noticing, though, is his forehead is a lot big. I never noticed how big his forehead is, but he has a large forehead.
He does have a large forehead, and that's not enough forehead.
So attractive.
But there's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, his nose is different in that, too, versus the picture. Look, it's more rounded on the end. His is more, like, flattened.
Oh, my God.
Am I becoming those people?
We've turned into snobby Hot Toys collectors.
Oh, no.
That's what's happened in this video. I didn't expect this to be the outcome. But, you know, we're talking about these bad head sculpts, but by looking at some of, like I said, the better ones, like this guy.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So who's this? Oscar Isaac.
Yes.
This is Johnny Depp. I mean, These two figures look beautiful. This one looks really great as well. It looks good. Right? And then you get to stuff like this, and it's really shocking.
How can Hot Toys produce what we just saw and then produce this?
Good question. I wonder that myself, because it makes absolutely no sense that they bring out these incredible head sculpts. I don't know if it's who's working in their shop that's making them, that sometimes you hand it to the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they designed a Paul Rudd, gave him the Paul Rudd forehead. That is a very large forehead.
It is.
Sort of weird eyes, sort of Paul Rudd eyes, but then gave him your big teeth.
Right. Get your big teeth, first off. Second off, what's interesting about this is that these figures, originally when I first started looking at Hot Toys, which I think a lot of people who are viewing this video right now or watching this video maybe aren't Hot Toys collectors, they might be looking at all those head sculpts and saying, oh my God, they look amazing.
They do. So
I think it takes a while to be a collector of these things to see a lot of this.
Yeah, but also a lot of people who watch our channel and who stumble upon us collect figures like Funko, because we primarily have talked about Funko throughout the years. Now, we have definitely touched upon other collectible figures, bit more high end up to Hot Toys, some statues. So, you know, you look at a Funko Pop with the detail that they have, and as Funko Pop collectors, we might see a pop where it's like, oh my god, that has incredible detail for a pop. But then you start looking at Hot Toys, and even the bad head sculpts are like,
the level is so
holy
different.
Crap, that looks like a real person.
Yeah, because the way that they're able to get the skin tones and even the hands
down
will have
to the glossiness of the eyes.
Well, the hands, you'll see veins in them.
Yeah,
like the muscles, the way that they have those.
It's wild.
It's really incredible.
Really cool to see. And please don't take my comment about Funko Pop collectors the wrong way. I just know, like,
it's a different thing.
Yeah, it is. So as a Funko Pop collector, I can say, okay, this is a very detailed Funko Pop versus like this Funko Pop could use something better. But Funko Pops will never be on the same level of Hot Toys because they are not a Hot Toys level figure. They're not meant to be Hot Toy level figure. You know what I mean? So that I just wanted to explain so nobody gets upset.
I don't think you had to. I think we're all smart enough to understand that. But that's good. Thank you. It's for some of the people out there to, you know.
They leave like comments and they get mad about nothing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have to fight with them. It's like a whole thing.
I don't want to fight with them. I don't like to fight with people. There are some people. Listen.
Heather puts her armor on. She's out there battling away.
When somebody says, Heather, you should really stop farting, I take great offense to that because listen, it's natural. You do it. I do it. We all do it. Even who's someone really famous that you wouldn't think of like farts?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. He farts. Ask him. I bet you he farts. Chris Evans?
Where did this video go? So the point is that these head sculpts are so incredibly important to Hot Toys fans. Yes. And frankly, if you're going to buy a figure at a price like $300 to $400 for something like this, your expectations are it must be the best. So when I received my Ant-Man figure in the mail and I opened it up and I saw that little head sculpt in person, on the internet it looked horrible. And I was like, I'm just hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. It looked even worse in person. And there have been times, in fact, where Hot Toys will remake a head sculpt. I have an Iron Man figure where the head sculpt apparently just was not like up to snuff for a lot of people. You could send the head sculpt back to receive a better head sculpt. If I remember correctly, it was Mark 85 from Endgame.
Okay. Wow.
Crazy stuff. Yes, crazy stuff.
I mean, that's a Hot Toys collector. They offer that. Yeah. But I mean, you have to think about the loss the company's taking on because they're now having to hire someone to redesign it, to reproduce it, to likely pay for shipping back to them plus shipping to the customer.
Right. Absolutely. Look at this figure. Ain't he good? This is one of my faves. Yeah, I love this Cappy Dappy. He's looking good. You're gonna grab his little toy butt.
No. I was pretending like
you're gonna squeeze his legs together like a drumstick.
Yeah.
You heathen.
Sorry.
But I want to know what you guys think. I know this is something that's a bit off topic for us. I mean, we've unboxed Hot Toys here, but specifically talking about Hot Toys is a little bit different. Do you like this type of content? I'd like to know. Go ahead and interrupt me.
I was interrupting you.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say if you like it, let us know.
Yeah, we want to know if you like this type of content. Do you like that Heather interrupted me? It's a good question too.
Normally,
do you like that Heather farts?
Actually, someone made a comment on one of our videos today about you interrupting me all the time, and they said
Get out of here.
They value what I have to say, and please don't interrupt Heather. What I have been saying.
They value what you say.
Mm-hmm. Which is surprising, honestly, because most of what I say is dumb.
Well, that's my point.
But that's my point too. Listen, maybe they like a dumb person's take because they can understand it better. I don't know. Sorry, don't mean to
You just called that person dumb. That was trying to
I said maybe they are if they value what so I'm calling myself dumb.
Beautiful. There you go. That's what you get for taking up for Heather. I've been saying this for years. I'm the good one. Heather's the bad one. She's the bad guy of this whole operation. Let us know what you think about all this and more in the comment section down below. And don't forget to hit the like button because it helps the channel in a really big way. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons for Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Monica Nelson, Effigy Dyer, Pistachio 32, East Coast Collects, Belinda Jean, Jeff Wilson, This Life with Joy, Katie Spink, James Neff, and Lisa Stevens. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys rock. If you want to become a patron on our Patreon, check out patreon.com/Gastlecast for all the ways that you can support this channel. And in return, we go live with you every single month via Google Meet. We hang out, we show you upcoming Mischief Toys things, and we give away a ton of stuff. In fact, last month in December, we gave away a Deadpool Hot Toys figure. So you never know what we're going to give away. Make sure you tune in, become a patron, join that live for the giveaways. It's a fantastic place to be. And as I mentioned before, hit the like button. It helps the channel in a very big way. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. You don't want to miss our new content. Come back and watch us. And also check out our lives between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. You don't want to miss it. Come and hang with us. That's all we've got for you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.